I stopped mulching with compost for 90 days, and my garden changed completely. Gardening will humble you in the best way possible. Just when you think you've figured out the perfect system, something shifts, and the soil reminds you who's really in charge. For years, I swore by compost mulch. Thick, fluffy, dark compost layered on top of every bed. It looked beautiful, fed the soil, and seemed like a foolproof method, until the day I stopped using it. The first surprise: my soil dried out faster than ever. Within the first 2 weeks of skipping compost mulch, I noticed an immediate change. My beds were drying out nearly twice as fast. Compost holds moisture like a sponge. Without it, the sun hit the soil directly. The wind whisked moisture away, and the top layer turned dusty almost overnight. Even though I had a drip line running, the water wasn't sinking into the soil as deeply. I'd water the same amount, but the soil felt dry again by the next morning. Plants that normally thrived, like tomatoes and squash, started showing subtle signs of stress. Leaves curled earlier in the day, and new growth slowed down. I relearned a truth I had taken for granted. Compost mulch doesn't just feed the soil, it regulates moisture. Without it, the soil is exposed, thirsty, and vulnerable. Compaction came back with a vengeance. One thing compost mulch does incredibly well is protect soil aggregates from breaking down. When I stopped using it, small rainfalls did something I hadn't seen in years. They compacted the surface. Instead of that soft, crumbly soil that breathes, I came back to a top layer that felt crusty. This changed more than texture. Compaction reduced the number of air pockets, making it harder for roots to expand. Water didn't percolate into the soil as evenly. Earthworms, those beautiful chubby soil engineers, stopped coming close to the surface. Instead of castings everywhere, I saw fewer signs of worm activity. It was a harsh reminder that compost mulch serves as the soil's protective armor. Without it, you lose biological structure faster than you think. Weed pressure tripled, almost overnight. If you think weeds love bare soil, wait until you see how they behave when you remove compost mulch. They explode. Compost mulch smothers weed seeds, blocks sunlight, and keeps the surface too cool for germination. Without it, I had a flush of opportunistic weeds: purslane, pigweed, grasses, and even some random invaders from who knows where. I spent more time weeding that season than I had in the previous 2 years combined. But the real shock: the weeds weren't just more numerous, they were stronger. Without mulch slowing them down, they rooted deeper and competed harder for nutrients and moisture. Some, like grasses, became legitimate problems. This taught me that compost mulch isn't just a nice-to-have, it's one of the most effective weed control strategies you can use. Soil temperature became extreme. Bare soil is like a mood swing: too cold at night, too hot during the day. Once I stopped mulching with compost, my soil temperature fluctuated wildly. During hot weeks, soil surfaces hit temperatures that could literally kill fragile roots. During cool spells, the ground lost heat too fast, slowing microbial activity. Plants don't like these extremes, and soil biology hates it. I noticed fewer spring germinations and sluggish early growth. My warm season crops took longer to take off. Beneficial microbes, especially fungi, clearly felt the disruption. Compost mulch had always insulated the soil, creating a stable microclimate. Removing it pulled the rug from under the system. Organic matter levels dropped, fast. This was the most long-term effect, and perhaps the most alarming. When you mulch with compost, you're adding organic matter gradually, consistently, and naturally. Stopping it entirely meant the soil wasn't getting its usual top-ups. Organic matter declined faster than expected, because biology consumes and breaks it down constantly. By the next season, my soil felt lighter, less rich, and less resilient. Water-holding capacity decreased, and fertility dropped. For a soil-focused gardener, this felt like watching years of progress evaporate. I saw more soil erosion, even with small rains. Before stopping compost mulch, I rarely noticed erosion. The soil was protected, spongy, and well covered. But without that layer, even small rains displaced soil particles. I started seeing little rivulets and bare patches. After storms, nutrient-rich topsoil was washing away, not catastrophically, but enough to be noticeable. This was the moment I realized that mulch isn't simply for moisture or weeds. It's the first line of defense against erosion. Compost mulch sticks to the ground beautifully and reduces runoff dramatically. Pests took advantage of stressed plants. Healthy, compost mulch soil produces plants with stronger immunity. When the soil weakened, the plants weakened too, and pests knew it. Aphids arrived early. Mites thrived in the hotter, drier soil. Even leaf miners seemed more aggressive. Plants under stress release chemical signals, and pests jump on the opportunity. I had to intervene more often than I wanted to. Another sign that the soil system was off balance. Did anything improve? Yes, my understanding of soil. Stopping compost mulch didn't make my soil better, but it made me a better observer. It taught me that compost mulch is not just a nutrient source, it is a moisture regulator, a weed suppressor, an erosion barrier, a temperature buffer, a biological powerhouse, and a builder of long-term fertility. Without it, the entire soil system becomes more fragile. But it also reminded me that no one mulch should dominate the garden forever. Compost mulch is powerful, but alternating with leaves, grass, straw, or wood chips introduces new nutrient pathways, different fungal food sources, and broader biodiversity. My new approach, thanks to this experience, is a layered system, a thin, fresh layer of compost to feed the soil biology, and a top layer of organic matter to protect and insulate. This has become the soil power sweet spot. Final thoughts. Should you stop mulching with compost? If you're a beginner, my honest advice is simple: don't stop. Compost mulch gives you the most forgiving, productive soil with the least effort. If you're more experienced, you can experiment with alternatives. But expect changes. Some will surprise you, some will challenge you, and some will frustrate you. But all of them will teach you more about your soil than any book. For me, stepping away from compost mulch revealed how essential it truly is. Today, compost remains the backbone of my mulching strategy, but I combine it with raw organics to create a healthier, more balanced soil ecosystem than ever before. If you found this helpful, if you love deep dive soil experiments like this, make sure you subscribe to the Soil Power YouTube channel, share this article with a gardening friend, and help spread the word about building powerful living soil, one layer at a time. Your soil will thank you.